What up, Screen Fiends? I'm GB, and you're tuned in to Headz TV, where we like to discuss all the wonderful things appearing on your movie and your TV screens. In this episode, I'm going to give my predictions for the next episode of Preacher. That's going to be Season 2, Episode 8, titled Holes. Alright, so if this is your first time watching my predictions videos, I don't do spoilers at all. The way I come up with my predictions is I go off of the trailer, any sneak peeks or additional scenes they may give us, prior to the episode, and the synopsis, and of course, the habits of the show, just how I feel the show handles, their storytelling. So with that being said, let's get into it. So Season 2, Episode 8, titled Holes. Now, before I get into the actual synopsis, it doesn't say anything about Eugene, Arseface, in the synopsis. So I want to touch on him real quick because he is in the trailer. So we see Eugene in hell, and we hear the warden saying, one of you doesn't, talking to the whole group, one of you doesn't belong in hell, and we're going to find out which one it is. So we all know that that's Eugene because he didn't go to hell naturally. He wasn't sent to hell by God or Satan or anything. He was sent to hell by Jesse, right? So, the word of God is what put him there. So obviously Eugene is the one that doesn't belong there. Are they going to find that out this episode? I don't know, maybe, because it looks like Eugene's getting thrown in some big giant hole. And at first, Hole, that's the title of the episode, Holes. So at first, I was thinking that maybe he was being thrown into, the hole, prison hole. And maybe that's still the case. But now I'm starting to think that maybe they're going to kick him out. And that's how, that's him getting kicked out of hell. And then he'll get somehow injected back into our story, where we are now on Earth. So that's where I see Eugene going. I don't think we're going to get tons of him. But maybe we will. Maybe this will be a big Eugene episode. I don't really know. I didn't think we were going to see him again until, episode 9 or 10. Maybe I did predict 8. I don't know. A couple of videos back I talked about I didn't think we were going to see Eugene for a while. So, alright. So the synopsis reads, Jesse investigates a fresh clue about God. Tulip makes friends with a new neighbor. And there's a glimpse into Cassidy's past relationship with his son, Dennis. Alright, so let's start with Jesse. Jesse investigates a fresh clue about God. I really have no idea what that could be. None at all. I have no speculation. They don't show Jesse in the trailer at all. So I really have not much to go on with this one. But the last we saw him, he was talking to that, the apocalypse guy, the crazy guy, whatever, who I think might actually have been God. That would be a cool twist if it was. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe I'm not. But the last we saw Jesse, he was hanging out with him, drinking beers, whatever. So maybe that guy gives him a clue or a hint or something about, where God is. Yeah, I don't really have much to go on with that. I don't think Jesse's anywhere near close to finding God yet. So I wouldn't, or at least knowing that he found God. So I wouldn't expect that. Maybe we'll get to see him watching that video of fake God, actor God. I never get enough of that video. It's so funny to me. All right, let's move on because I really don't, have much else to say about that. Tulip makes friends with a new neighbor. Now, we see in the sneak peek that, as well as the trailer, that what Tulip is doing is going around patching up the holes that the serial killer's bullet made because it went through, the refrigerator and then wall. So she's going to patch up the holes. Now, why is she doing this? I doubt it's something has to do with the police because there's police tape up all over. Unless, she's trying to get ahead of their investigation or something. If it's not that, I think maybe it's another part of her healing. By trying to, make right by, the damage that the serial killers did. But I doubt that's it. It's probably more along the lines of her trying to sabotage the investigation or cover it up or something. I don't know. But we see from the sneak peek that the new neighbor is, that they're talking about, is the woman that Jesse encountered back in episode, I think it was 3. I don't know. I think it was called Damsels. And she was working with all the people with the white suits that we now know are the Grail That's the organization that we learned about last week with ARE Star and all of that. So she works for ARE Star and the Grail, and right now she's on a mission to track down Jesse. Now she tracked him down, but then she saw him use the word of God, and then she reported that. So I don't think they want to kill him so much as get the word of God from him first and then kill him. But we know that, the Saint of Killers thing is to investigate this sort of stuff and then to deal with it, usually by a lot of death. So that's definitely where we're going, with that group. So Tulip she goes to knock on their door because I guess they moved into the motel, trying to stay close to their target. And, she offers to patch up the hole. The lady comes with a whole new disguise to the door and all that. And Tulip goes inside, and that's where the sneak peek ends. So I don't think it's going to be like a tense situation, really. I think it might be tense to the point where we know that, those are the bad guys. But Tulip doesn't know that. And I don't think anything bad will happen to Tulip as a result of that. At least not in this episode. I think that she's actually might make friends with the new neighbor in a way. And, I don't know, relate or bond a little bit. I think that's what Tulip's story is doing this week. I don't think we're going to get much action or anything like that. And then we have, and then there's a glimpse into Cassidy's past relationship with Dennis. I talked about this last week. I'm so excited to, learn more about Cassidy and Dennis. I mean, Cassidy in general, but finding out that Dennis was his son, now I want to learn more about Dennis. And, his relationship with his vampire dad. That's awesome to me. And he knows his dad is a vampire. So I'm really anxious to see that too. Now, like I said, the trailer and everything, it didn't really give us much. It gave us Eugene and it gave us Tulip. It didn't give us Jesse. It didn't give us Cassidy. So the bulk of the episode may actually be Eugene and Tulip. And then we'll get little sprinkles of Jesse and Cassidy. Or Jesse's storyline in this episode is so spoilery, they didn't want to put anything in the trailers because it would have gave it away. I know at the Comic-Con trailer for Preacher, they show him at a bar with ARE Star sitting at a bar. That might happen in this episode. Maybe that's what we'll get this episode is Jesse meeting ARE Star and we'll maybe learn that ARE Star is trying to get the word of God or something like that. I don't really know. This is a hard one to predict because they're not giving us a lot in the synopsis and they're not giving us a lot in the trailer and stuff, I think this will be an action light episode. We've had a lot of action this season. I don't think there's going to be very much or any action in this episode other than maybe what happens in hell. But episode 9 and 10 will probably be pretty action heavy episodes. So, like I said, it's hard to predict this one. What could the fresh clue about God be? I don't even know where to begin with that. So unless he gets it from that dude, maybe we've seen it, maybe we haven't seen it. What the fresh clue is, I doubt it. It's probably going to be something new that pops up in that episode. So, I don't know. I don't really have a lot to say about this one. Sorry, but I figured I'd put the video out there anyway. I know some of you guys like the Preacher videos and all that, so I didn't want to leave you hanging without a prediction for next week's episode, even though I don't have much to go on. But that's pretty much all I got. Sound off down below. Let me know what you think about my predictions. Let me know what you think what your predictions are for the next week, or anything Preacher related. Hit me up down in the comments. Don't forget to like, share, subscribe, all that good stuff. Helps out the channel, boosts my self-confidence. Doesn't hurt. And thank you so much for watching. Always appreciate it. You guys have a fantastic day, and I will see you next time.